Ever wondered what a crossover between Hell's Kitchen and MasterChef would look like? How chaotic? Well, it actually happened in MasterChef Season 13.
Cooking in a challenge like this is super intimidating. This is not the MasterChef kitchen anymore.
That's right. In episode 17, the top 6 contestants were thrown into the ultimate challenge, running the biggest Hell's Kitchen restaurant in the world at Harrah's Casino in Funner, California.
Anything you cook tonight and put on those plates is a direct reflection on me. So I want the very best from all of you.
This was where their journey from passionate home cooks to legitimate professionals was put to the test. And as always, Chef Ramsay demanded nothing short of perfection.
Oh my God, it's
Look
beautiful
brilliant.
in here.
He has higher standards than anyone in the game.
No pressure, right? The 6 contestants were split into 2 teams, and the stakes couldn't have been higher. The winning team would advance straight to the semifinals, while someone from the losing team would be heading home. The judges had already decided on the teams and their captains.
From our last challenge. Grant, you are the captain of the red team.
Thank you, Chef.
Wayne, you are the captain of the blue team.
Love that.
On the red team, Grant was joined by Jennifer and Sav. Over on the blue team, Wayne led Kennedy and Reagan. And what was on the menu?
Feeling great, Chef.
Amazing, Chef.
Tonight, each team will be cooking 2 appetizers and 2 entrees that are straight off my nightly menu.
Well, it was a lineup of classic Hell's Kitchen dishes. All the favorites we've ever seen on the show. Now, before service, Chef Ramsay actually gave a tutorial on how to prepare each dish while the home cook scrambled to take notes.
And then just drop that around. And then we got a lovely little chicken production that sits on there.
Now, this kind of hand-holding would never happen in Hell's Kitchen. Anyway, back to MasterChef, each team strategizes and starts working on appetizers.
Absolutely.
We just need to make sure we communicate.
Yes.
It's our names on the line. It's Gordon Ramsay's name on the line. So we got to do it for them, all right?
I have never heard any Hell's Kitchen contestant acknowledging that. So, what happened is, Sav handles the scallops for the red team, while Kennedy takes charge of them for the blue team. Jennifer and Reagan are on risotto duty, with the team captains plating and finalizing each dish.
Kennedy, you're on scallops for the appetizers. Reagan, you're on the risotto for apps, okay? And I'm gonna be plating the whole way and helping you guys on the line when you need it.
As tickets start pouring in, the competition heats up.
All right, guys, chef, restaurant's filling up. Table 1, table 2, tickets in, guys.
Thank
Get
you
ready,
very
good
much.
luck.
Thank you very much.
Chef Ramsay calls out the order for the blue team.
Okay, blue team first, check in. 4 covers, table 2. 1 scallop, 3 risotto.
Heard, 1 scallop, 3 risotto, 6 minutes, Chef.
Not bad at all. Meanwhile, he goes over to the red team.
Red team on order, 4 covers, table 1. 3 scallops, 1 risotto. Hey, heard?
Heard.
Give me a time, please.
6 minutes, Chef.
What's more is Jennifer quickly burns her first batch of risotto and has to start over.
Jennifer, how'd you burn the risotto in the first minute of opening Hell's Kitchen? We just started.
The pan was hot, yes, so it scalded it.
What do you mean it's burning hot? It's a kitchen.
Chef Ramsay issued a warning for the captain.
Right,
That'll help
Grant, you saw this, yeah?
Yes, Chef.
As a captain, young man, you better dig deep and find your voice quickly.
Yes, Chef.
Now you'll of course know that in Hell's Kitchen, there are no chosen or elected team leaders for services. It's about who steps up, finds their voice, and asserts themselves to the brigade without being overbearing or obnoxious, obviously. Some contestants who attempt to be leaders end up pushing others off their stations, taking over their tasks, and then claiming credit for the work, much like Scott from Season 7. On the flip side, there are leaders who are assertive, yet considerate in their approach. These leaders provide guidance and support to weaker chefs without being domineering, creating a more collaborative and positive kitchen environment. Their leadership style balances authority with empathy, like Dave and Damir. Back to the service, on the blue team, Kennedy quickly grows irritated with Wayne's micromanagement style.
I don't really appreciate it. I don't love his cutthroat approach to a lot of situations.
But despite the tension, the blue team manages to get their first 3 plates out. The red team soon follows, and more tickets start coming in.
Hey, red team, on order, 4 covers, table 3. 2 scallops, 2 risotto.
Yes, Chef.
How many scallops up?
Not a good look. And oh, Joe Bastianich was our Jean-Philippe for this episode without his charm.
There you are, madame. You have the blue team truffled risotto with lobster, seared scallops with the parsnip puree. Enjoy your dinner. Thank you.
Back in the kitchen, the blue team didn't send their scallops and risotto together, and Chef Ramsay wasn't gonna send an incomplete table.
I'm trying to not let anything crash.
Wayne, when I've got 3 risotto, 1 scallops, I want the 3 risotto first.
Yes.
Scallops are still dying in the window.
The next hiccup arises when Sav puts up mangled scallops. Chef Ramsay harshly remarked,
They're mangled. I wouldn't say that to my bulldog. Hey, FYI, he passed 3 years ago. That is Who cooked the scallops?
I just know the Hell's Kitchen stars from all the seasons are watching this like, yes, Sav, feel our pain. Grant remained calm, guiding and supporting Sav through the next steps.
A deer in the headlights, and I feel for her. I'm a dad, so I'm trying as much as I can to comfort her as much as I am trying to lead her.
The contrasting leadership styles of Grant and Wayne were becoming evident, Grant's calm and supportive approach versus Wayne's intense and controlling demeanor. Chef Ramsay was frustrated with the red team's slow pace.
Jennifer, how long for the risotto?
I've got 3 minutes.
How long does scallops take?
This should be 2 minutes.
90 seconds.
90 seconds.
Get them out.
Yes, chef.
They were still finding their rhythm, but the customers were growing impatient. So Chef Ramsay called for backup.
I don't.
Yeah.
If you don't help these guys, we're never going to finish the appetizer service. Thank you.
I
Let's
got
go.
you, chef.
Meanwhile, on the blue team, Reagan landed in hot water for trying to reuse leftover risotto for a new table.
Blue team, don't you dare do that to me.
Yes, chef.
I respect you a lot,
Yes, chef.
but don't ever disrespect me.
Yes, chef.
She was left mortified by the reprimand. Meanwhile, Jennifer faced her own crisis as she served up raw lobster.
No. Look, it's raw. Hey, it's ice cold in the middle and it's raw.
Yes.
Diners across the restaurant expressed disappointment with the red team's dishes.
At least the lobster is delicious.
Yeah. We waited like 25 minutes for our appetizers, and I don't think it's up to the Gordon Ramsay standards.
Despite the setbacks, both teams managed to complete their appetizers, but the red team fell a bit short and lagged behind.
What happened?
We folded, chef. We got behind. We didn't have a system. I didn't put a system in place. I failed as a leader during this round.
People taking responsibility? This is another thing you won't ever see in Hell's Kitchen. Great job, Grant. The blue team emerged victorious in this round, but now it was time to shift focus to the entrees. In the next round, Grant shifted Sav off the line to handle plating, while he took charge of the steaks with Jennifer focusing on the salmon for the red team.
After the appetizer round, I'm moving Sav off of the line and moving her more to plating.
On the blue team, Kennedy tackled the salmon, while Reagan handled the steaks, with Wayne overseeing and plating every dish. Eventually, the red team was the first to serve up their entrees, and Chef Ramsay congratulated them for finding momentum.
Good.
Great job. Great finesse on that, Sav.
Thank you.
That looks beautiful. Salmon up.
Hot fillets.
Come on.
Nicely plated, Sav.
Thank you, chef.
Great job.
Meanwhile, Wayne was under pressure because Reagan appeared completely all over the place.
I'm worried about Reagan. She's all over the place.
Is it on? Is the oven off?
Oh, come on, Reagan. Don't look so lost.
They appeared a bit off their game, if you ask me.
Come on, then, let's go. Hey, Wayne.
Yes.
They've got momentum now, and you've gone backwards.
And then this happened.
Focus.
Reagan,
Yes,
your
chef.
cloth's on fire. Be careful. Your towel.
On the red team, Jennifer made a mistake by serving raw salmon on a plate and has to start over. This marks the second raw dish she served tonight.
Raw.
Who's cooking the salmon?
I cooked it, so that's yes.
Slow down.
Yes, chef.
So he didn't smash the salmon to mush like he'd have done if it were HK.
Look, it's not. It's just. No, it's not about. Oh, it's not about that. Bro, just touch that.
Yeah, it's cold.
Touch it.
Anyway, as Joe observed the diners, those eating the red team's food appeared more satisfied at this stage.
How was your filet? Good.
Flavor is fantastic. It's perfect.
Great. Enjoy your meal.
But he had to return an undercooked filet to the blue team for correction.
Hey, Reagan,
Yes,
look
chef.
at me. It's undercooked. This is real.
Yes, chef.
Okay? They've complained about it, yes?
Yes, chef.
Meanwhile, Grant served a rare steak that got sent back by a customer, ending their service on a sour note.
Reagan,
Yes,
your
chef.
cloth's on fire. Be careful. Your towel.
Here, give it to me.
Get rid of it.
Eventually, both teams managed to complete the dinner service and could finally breathe a sigh of relief. What a roller coaster! Chef Ramsay congratulated the blue team for their strong finish. However, based on his less than favorable reaction to the red team's performance, it seemed like the blue team might have done enough to win.
Clear down.
Yes, chef.
And thank God I didn't shut it down.
Chef Ramsay announced that the blue team would advance to the semifinals, securing safety for Wayne, Kennedy, and Reagan. He criticized the red team for their lack of teamwork throughout the challenge.
Red team, you may have been working next to each other, but you never worked as a team.
After deliberation, the judges decided that Sav would be eliminated in 6th place. Now, many viewers have questioned that in MasterChef, since the prize includes cash, a trophy, a title, and most importantly, a cookbook. What purpose does these restaurant takeover episodes serve? These contestants are all home cooks with no real experience leading a brigade, so how does this prove they're MasterChef material, let alone worthy of their own cookbook? Given their background, a cookbook focused on home cooking makes sense as a prize. This format works for Hell's Kitchen. But here? No wonder it was a disaster. Speaking of, Week 7 of MasterChef Australia Season 3 introduced the infamous Relay Challenge. The contestants were split into 4 teams, each responsible for creating a single dish. Each team member had just 15 minutes to cook, with only 45 seconds to brief the next person before handing over the station.
The next member of your team will know what to do is if you tell them. If you don't tell them, they've got no idea where they're going, what they're doing. And it will get worse.
Oh, and there was another crucial detail.
The losing team will face elimination tomorrow.
On the blue team, Jared Trigg kicked things off, opting for mussels in a coconut and tomato broth, simple, straightforward, and easy to build on.
I love simplicity.
Yeah, I just wanted something that, you know, it's easy that we can keep communicating down the line. Hopefully we can build enough flavour in it.
He prepped the base and passed the baton to Fiona Grindlay, who carried on with the dish.
At the moment, I'm just debearding these mussels and just getting them prepped, ready to go.
Then John stepped in, and that's when things took a turn.
John grabs lobster, scallops, and even prawns. I'm a bit worried that all that seafood will overpower the balance of the mussels and the coconut.
But wait, there was more. Despite being told the plan, he decided to throw in a completely unexpected twist.
Now I'm really freaking out. What is he doing with white chocolate?
Yep, white chocolate. To pair with what? Mussels? Matt, we've finally found your worthy adversary.
That must be one of the worst combinations I've ever tasted.
Chef Ramsay should have had a taste of John's masterpiece too. His team was absolutely losing it.
John, come back to your bench. Put everything back. It seems like John's definitely gone rogue.
Oh, he definitely went rogue.
Johnny! Like, yeah, I'm absolutely, like, flabbergasted. What are you doing?
But let's hear his grand vision for the dish.
I've changed the dish. Basically, I'm going to use the basis of what they've started with, and I'm going to change that into a white chocolate velouté.
Yeah, all they originally planned was a simple broth.
Johnny, what are you doing? Why are you doing a white chocolate velouté with a coconut broth?
I'm just screaming at the TV.
Cannot even imagine how anxious and utterly defeated his team must have felt in that moment. And then came Marco, looming over the dish.
So I'm doing a white chocolate velouté.
Was that part of the original dish?
No, they were actually going to do... They just gave me a...
Can I ask you a simple question? And then I will stay quiet.
One look, and Marco knew it was a lost cause.
Are you going back to your old habits?
I'm going to keep it simple, so I'm just going to have
white chocolate velouté.
The judges really tried to knock some sense into him about how confusing his creation was, but John was way too chill to care.
You know what I was going to say? It's great that you have these kind of wild and wacky ideas and it's clear in your head, but you've got to translate all of that to the next contestant and they're going to stand there and go, white chocolate?
He should have taken the hint, but nope. And the funniest part? Marco's reaction.
Do you think white chocolate works with shellfish?
It does.
Then I look forward to tasting it. Yeah. You can teach me something for once. I'll become your apprentice, John.
Marco would be thrilled to meet Matt Siegel, too, wouldn't he? Anyway, as expected, John didn't even manage to finish the veloute. By the time Amy Luttrell arrived, she had no idea what she was supposed to be cooking.
Started the velouté.
I did expect to see a little bit more order on the bench today, but it's complete chaos in there. I start getting a little bit overwhelmed at all the elements that he's describing to me.
Of course she was confused. And surprise, surprise, it was complete chaos.
I'm not sure what is supposed to be used for the dish or what is to be thrown away.
Poor girl. John single-handedly sabotaged his own team by needlessly complicating the dish.
But unless I start guessing the original dish, I don't have a choice.
Meanwhile, Georgia Barnes, who had the unenviable task of plating the final dish, was understandably baffled by the chaotic assortment of ingredients. Nothing seemed to flow.
What's happening here?
Nor can we.
No.
So do you know what this is? What is this?
That's a velouté.
A velouté?
Watching her struggle to make sense of the mess was genuinely concerning.
Oh my God, I've run into a complete nightmare. I can't see a complete dish. I don't know what the dish is.
Georgia looks absolutely confused, and I really feel for her.
In the end, only 2 usable components remained. A small bowl of chopped scallops and some prawn oil. With just 5 minutes left, she quickly sauteed some prawns and croutons, probably already prepped, and threw together a scallop ceviche with prawns.
Oh my God, swear words, so many swear words.
Despite her best efforts, while the final dish was decent, it strayed too far from the original plan to save them.
Now it's up to me. I'm not giving up for a single second.
1 minute to go! Push, push, push! Come on! Finish your dish!
That said, Georgia deserves credit. She did what she could with what she had. Predictably, the blue team couldn't recover from the disaster and landed in elimination. But before that, let's hear the judges weigh in.
John, Once you did that, you created confusion. Had it not been for Georgia, you would have been in deep, 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 deep trouble.
Yep, gotta hand it to Georgia for her quick thinking. She really pulled through.
It highlighted to me what great chefs all possess.
Once the initial assessments were done, it was time for the tasting.
You know what? It's a good 5-minute dish. Yeah.
And yeah, it was all Georgia.
You built a very clever jigsaw under great pressure. Well done, Georgia.
Even the judges were left just as confused.
The prawn, it's undercooked. My goodness. What a shame.
But viewers, they were absolutely livid at John's chaos, and their frustration only grew when, in a baffling decision, Jared, the team captain, was eliminated in the next episode instead of John. So here's the thing. Back in 2015, John cemented his place as one of the most controversial contestants ever. But with a few years of hindsight, the relay challenge wasn't just a disaster, it was downright hilarious. Now, here's a real question for you. If given the choice, would you rather taste John's white chocolate veloute or Matt Siegel's white chocolate tartar from Hell's Kitchen? Pick your poison. Okay, moving on. In Season 9, Episode 8, the scene opens with the home cooks aboard a safari truck at the stunning Saddle Rock Ranch in Malibu. The ranch, known for its vineyards and exotic animals, including a giraffe dressed in a collar and tie, sets the stage for a special occasion. The wedding of MasterChef Season 7 winner, Sean to Katie.
We're going to be working in 2 teams.
Both teams will be making a stunning appetizer, followed by an incredible entree. But the proteins that we're cooking with will be up to both of you.
Sean and Katie request scallops for the appetizer and duck breast for the entree, 2 proteins notoriously tricky to cook perfectly and consistently.
Don't mess this up. I expect perfection.
The home cooks are divided into their usual red and blue teams, with captains selected by the judges based on those who have been flying under the radar.
We want to see what you can do in a position of leadership.
Uni is named captain of the red team, while Julia leads the blue team. She picks Lindsay, Taylor, SJ, Ashley, Ralph, Bowen, and Matt for her team. Juni chooses Cesar, Mark, Farhan, Garen, and Chelsea. This leaves 3 cooks unselected: Shanika, Samantha, and Ryan. When Chef Ramsay asks Uni who he doesn't want on his team, Uni immediately names...
Who don't I want?
Yeah.
Miss Shanika.
Why?
I don't like her in the kitchen. I like her outside of the kitchen.
Drama. So he chooses Samantha instead. Julia then selects Shanika for her team. As Shanika collects her blue apron, she points at Uni and confidently declares...
The red team's going down today.
Spoke too soon. Anyway, Ryan becomes Uni's final pick, joining his team. After confirming that both captains are satisfied with their teams, the judges announce a twist.
I would like the team captains to switch aprons.
Oh, hell no.
So, Junie, you will captain the blue team.
I knew it.
And Julia, you will captain the red team.
Consequently, Uni now finds himself as the captain of Shanika's team.
1. Today we'll be judging based upon guest feedback, obviously how well you work in the kitchen, and of course the dishes you played.
With no time to dwell on the switch, the teams rush to the cooking tent and dive straight into menu planning. Julia proves to be a strong presence in the kitchen, though she encounters some resistance from her team regarding her menu ideas.
I think underneath we should probably do some lentils, like something like a really nice vinaigrette.
I mean, I was just going a complete other direction, but like a watercress salad, blood orange supremes, crispy sprouts on top, basil oil.
But all those components, I don't know if we're gonna have time.
Despite this, she maintains her leadership position and eventually earns the support of her team. On the flip side, Uni appears to be seeking input on the menu, particularly since he is a vegetarian.
Do you guys think that we should pan-sear them in duck fat to kind of tie the 2 dishes together, or would
No,
that be too much?
no. They're too delicate.
Okay.
As a vegetarian of over 10 years, I don't cook with scallops, I don't cook with duck, but I'm confident in my ability to cook anything that's put in front of me.
While he takes some advice on board, such as avoiding cooking scallops in duck fat to preserve their delicate flavor, he ultimately makes the final decisions on the menu. He decides to pair farro with the scallops and insists on orange zest mashed potatoes, despite objections from his team. Shanika voices her disbelief, saying,
Junie, you're not making sense right now. Orange mashed potatoes? Who does that?
I couldn't agree with her more. Chef Ramsay checks in on Uni's team and listens to their menu plans. He interrupts Uni when he mentions farro.
Guys, hold on, farro. It's a tough grain, it's wintry, we're in spring, we're in the Malibu Hills. Has anyone questioned this?
Eventually, Uni decided to go with a celery root puree instead of farro. But the other fruity idea he had also sent Chef Ramsay in shock.
An orange zested mash. Put your hands in the air if you've ever seen an orange zested mash in any restaurant anywhere in the world.
I haven't eaten in a lot of restaurants around the world, but I can confidently say nobody serves them. I mean, what were they thinking? Chef Ramsay insisted they regroup and revise their menu.
Meet, discuss, move.
Yes, chef.
Privately, Shanika chuckles.
Whew. Thank you, Jesus Gordon, for doing that. Junie, your idea sucked. And Gordon got your ass.
Chef Ramsay moves over to check on Julia's team and is shocked.
Stop! Who seasoned these?
We all did, Chef.
What happens to them when you season them before you cook them?
Moisture seeps out, jeopardizing their texture.
Watery. Come on, guys. Look at the water running out of them already.
The team hurriedly works to clean and dry the scallops to salvage their dish.
And now everyone's scrambling to dry them off and to get all the salt and the pepper and the oil off of the scallops.
All right, come on, guys.
As the teams press on with their preparations, the wedding ceremony unfolds. Looking sharp in a dark suit, Ramsay steps in to officiate the wedding and helps Sean compose himself.
By the power vested in me, it's my honor to declare you both husband and wife. And now you may seal this declaration with a huge kiss.
Chef Ramsay then swiftly heads back to the kitchen to oversee the cooking process. After all, he's a man who wears many hats. Aaron is expediting for Junie's blue team.
Here it is. I need a VIP 2-top for the bride and the groom.
Yes, chef.
After that, I need a 6 and a 5-top.
While Chef Ramsay takes charge of Julia's red team.
How long, Julia?
30 seconds. Scallops, I need them now. Scallops up.
As it's time to serve the bride and groom, Junie's last-minute celery root puree turns out to be undercooked.
Need a time. How long?
So it is gonna be like another 10 minutes.
Another 10 minutes? No, no.
Chef Ramsay decides they should ditch the puree rather than wait for it to cook properly.
Already, blue team, we're all over the place. And do you know why? No one's communicating, and the captain's disappeared.
Taylor steps forward and suggests serving pickled carrots instead as a quick replacement. The scallop dishes are presented to the newlyweds. The red team offers a seared scallop with lentils and snap pea salad, while the blue team serves a seared scallop with pickled carrots and blood orange gastrique. Unfortunately, the gastrique has caused a pool of pink juice to form around their plate, which seems less than ideal. The red team's mistake of seasoning their scallops early has prevented them from achieving a good sear. However, despite this setback, the bride and groom unanimously choose their dish as the tastier option.
It's a little peppery.
It's nice peppery tones. They did a really good job pickling those carrots in a short amount of time. Flavor's better here, sear's better here.
But if you had to give me a vote right now, red team, blue team?
Red team.
Red team.
Joe moves among the guests to gather feedback. The scallops from both teams receive mixed reviews.
Undercooked or overcooked? Because this one looks like a potato chip.
Aaron, expediting on Uni's team, speaks in fragmented sentences.
Let's go, con ganas, muévete. Ahí, finish the garnish, let's go.
His voice elevated, punctuated by frantic hand gestures.
Come on, what the hell are you looking at?
I didn't want to put it down yet if we didn't.
Yeah, don't worry, by the time you get over here, it's gonna be done.
Sounds good.
He's nervous for them, secondhand nervousness, if you will. Meanwhile, Chef Ramsay, overseeing Julia's team, expresses that the scallop are trashy and decides to pull a Marie Kondo with them.
This is what bugs me. No one's giving me standards, and none of you'd eat that, but you're happy to serve it to a winner.
Once all the appetizers are served, the judges evaluate the dishes. Chef Ramsay notes that Julia's team started off poorly, but showed improvement towards the end. Aaron criticizes Uni, stating,
Junie has completely lost his voice. He was not leading, not delegating. Junie needs to step back up, delegate, and make sure that we can execute the way it should be to our standards.
So it appears that Julia's team has taken the lead after the appetizer course. For the entrees, Aaron is now expediting for Julia's team, while Chef Ramsay takes over for Uni's team. Chef Ramsay questions Uni again about his mashed potatoes, which have now transformed from orange to garlic mash. Chef Ramsay remains unimpressed, feeling that the dish lacks uniqueness.
It's a glamorous...
The garlic is going to be roasted before it's put into the mash.
Shanika pulls Uni aside and recommends a fondant potato as a more elegant solution. Uni, however, informs her that the garlic mash is already in progress and insists they stick with it. He plans to pipe it onto the plate to make it more suitable for the wedding.
We're doing the mash in the piping bag so that we can make sure that we have consistency and it doesn't look bad.
All right, you're the captain. Go with the little funky mashed potatoes then. in the piping bag.
Uni then inspects his troubled mash. SJ and Ralph are not peeling the potatoes properly. Instead, they are mostly cutting the skin off as they cube the potatoes for boiling. Uni brushes it off, saying it's fine, but it's obvious this oversight will reflect poorly on him.
You're not peeling?
Oh, we are peeling, but by cutting them first, like this.
Got it, got it, got it.
Of course, like a little bit of skin won't make too much of a difference.
Yeah, that's fine.
Chef Ramsay returns for another check-in and is understandably displeased with the irregular skin on potato cuts.
We've got skin on, black eyes here. Now, when I said to you all, set yourselves up for success, you're
He is also frustrated that Uni planned to char Romanesco without a clear method to do so.
charred Romanesco is on a charcoal grill. So what are we charring it on?
The team suggests using a cast iron pan, an open flame, or the broiler.
Well, that's not charred, is it? That's roasted.
Roasting.
I think they were gonna do it over the open flame. That's what I thought.
Open flame?
Yes, that's what I
Open
thought.
flame? Oh my God.
It's becoming clear that the blue team is in trouble. Chef Ramsay reaches his limit and does this.
You are not going to captain this team any longer. Have a meeting and somebody step up and run this team. If not, I'm going to run it.
Taylor steps up immediately. Her first decision is to adopt Shanika's suggestion of fondant potatoes. However, at this point, Taylor finds herself leading a team that seems to be sinking. Chef Ramsay inspects the team's sauce progress. Ashley, who has been working on a red wine sauce throughout the competition, has very little sauce prepared.
How many portions are here?
That's
Come on.
maybe 12, Chef.
Taylor,
Yes, chef.
5 portions of sauce there and barely 10 there.
Chef Ramsay confronts her about this, and she starts to cry.
I give you a pin, I believe you, but you're just not with it.
Yeah, Chef.
You gotta help me.
Yeah, Chef.
Because
You
you're
got
just
this.
wasting.
No, it's okay. Deep.
Taylor steps in to reassure Ashley and instructs her to focus on making more sauce. Meanwhile, Chef Ramsay finds himself repeatedly asking Matt for potatoes.
Yeah.
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
We need the potatoes.
Oh, we need the potatoes. Yes,
Oh
yes,
my
potatoes.
God almighty.
And again,
Hey,
Chef.
Clark Kent, wake up.
Yes, chef.
and again.
Sauce, potato. Potato!
Potato.
Potato head!
Frustrated, he jokingly tells Matt to
Get it together.
Got it, chef.
Or off and feed the giraffe.
In the end, the blue team presents a seared duck breast with fondant potatoes and charred Romanesco. Meanwhile, the red team serves duck breast with tricolor potatoes and mushrooms. Unfortunately, the bride and groom find the red team's duck undercooked.
Red team? This is a little sloppy. Potatoes and mushrooms are great, but the duck is a little under.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer, because they had such a strong showing on the appetizer.
Right. Okay.
Overall, guests experience varying duck temperatures from both teams, but they appear to prefer the side served by the red team. The last plate leaves the kitchens, and the red team congratulates themselves as they begin cleaning up. However, Joe discovers a whole table with severely undercooked duck.
So literally blood red. This was the duck from the red team.
Everything was really good.
Clean up. So undercooked, you think?
Very
Raw. I'll have them make them all again.
He rushes back to the red kitchen and insists on a refire just after the team has discarded all their sides and sauce. Now they have to create 4 new plates from scratch, adding to their anxiety.
Oh my God, the duck is raw. We have to remake the plates, but we've thrown away all of our ingredients. Can you get the mushrooms in the pan now? What can I do?
Meanwhile, Sean and his bride are eager to announce the winning team.
2, 3.
Despite their last-minute refire, the red team still outperforms the struggling blue team, which faced difficulties from start to finish.
I'm so proud of my team.
Congratulations, red team. You're safe from elimination. And guys, you really, really earned it.
Thank you.
And you know what that means, blue team?
Before leaving the venue, Chef Ramsay announces that Shanika and Taylor stood out positively on the losing team and are safe from elimination. This leaves 7 cooks remaining who are up for elimination. Though the team arrives in the MasterChef kitchen ready for battle in black aprons, they are surprised to learn
There is no pressure test.
Yep, Ralph, Bowen, Lindsay, Matt, and SJ are deemed safe from elimination. However, Chef Ramsay doesn't hold back in his critique. He expresses disappointment with Ashley for cracking under pressure and breaking down over her sauce. Uni receives even harsher criticism.
Possibly one of the worst performing captains I've ever witnessed. Ever.
Ultimately, Uni is eliminated for his poor leadership, which Chef Ramsay attributes to badly conceptualized menus and losing control of his team's direction.
You know, young man, you came in with the spark and the charisma, and we love that attitude. But unfortunately, your team was doomed before they started yesterday.
You know, I've never quite grasped why leadership matters so much on MasterChef. I get it for shows like Hell's Kitchen, where the prize is supposedly a head chef job. On MasterChef, shouldn't it just be about making the tastiest and prettiest plate? Do you think Uni should have gotten a shot at redemption and battle it out on a pressure test? Make sure to let me know in the comments below. But which of these chefs do you think messed up the most? Don't forget to mention in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe, and turn on my post notifications. And before you leave, you must watch this next video right here. It's wild!
And it's just an embarrassing mess.
I have no problem telling him to get out of here.
I'll give you a kick with the ass if that was my son.